All right, in this explainer, we're diving into something really powerful, a super simple plan to completely reset your brain's motivation system. And the best part, it only takes 24 hours. Let's jump right in. So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You've got these big goals, right? Things you really want to do, but you just find yourself scrolling and scrolling, and you can't seem to focus. You just feel totally drained. Well, if that's you, you are definitely not alone. And get this, there's a very real biological reason why this is happening. And that reason? Well, it all comes down to what we're calling the dopamine dilemma. See, if we want to fix this feeling, we first have to get a handle on the one chemical that's really pulling the strings behind the scenes. Okay, so we've all heard of dopamine, right? But here's the thing. Most of us have the wrong idea about it. We call it the pleasure molecule, like it's the little prize we get after we do something cool. But that's not really it. It's much, much more accurate to think of it as the motivation molecule. It's the chemical that screams, hey, go get that, it's gonna be awesome. It's the gas in the tank for our ambition. And this quote right here just nails the problem we're all facing. Our brains are basically running on ancient software. They're built for a world where you had to work hard for a reward. But our modern world, man, it's just a fire hose of cheap, easy rewards. And all that constant pinging and scrolling is literally draining the fuel we need to do anything actually meaningful. So what does that leave us with? It's this crazy modern paradox, right? We are completely overstimulated, and yet we feel totally, deeply undermotivated. I mean, just think about your phone for a second. Every single ping, every like, every endless scroll, it's all a tiny little hit of dopamine. It feels good, sure, but for like a split second, and it takes absolutely zero real effort to get it. So what happens is, all this stuff pushes our brain into what you could call addicted mode. It starts to crave those easy, constant hits, and that just kills our motivation for the big stuff. I mean, why would you struggle to write a chapter of a book when you can get 100 little digital pats on the back from your phone right now? The goal, what we're aiming for, is to shift into focus mode. That's where your brain actually gets energized by making real progress, where it finds joy in the effort itself. That's where we want to be. So the big question is, how do we make that shift? How do we get out of addicted mode and into focus mode? Well, that's exactly where this 24-hour reset plan comes into play. And look, this is not about throwing your phone in a lake and living in the woods forever. It's just a strategic, super short break to get your system back in balance. And the plan itself? It's so simple. First step, just pick a day. Any day. That's it, just one 24-hour period. Step 2, on that day, you cut out all the easy dopamine. We're talking no social media, no falling down YouTube rabbit holes, no video games, even no junk food. And then, step 3, and this is the most important part, you embrace boredom. I know it sounds weird, but trust me, this is where the real magic happens. So instead of instinctively grabbing your phone, you do other stuff. Things that are, less flashy but way more fulfilling. Go for a walk. Pick up a real physical book. You remember those? Meditate, write in a journal, get some exercise. Basically, anything that lets your brain just quiet down and touch base with the real world again. Okay, so let's get into the why. Why does this actually work? Because it's not just about gritting your teeth and having more willpower. You're actually, fundamentally, changing your brain chemistry. And I know what you might be thinking. Seriously? How can one day of being bored actually do anything? It sounds way too simple to actually work, right? Well, the secret is all about something called dopamine receptor sensitivity. Okay, so imagine you have these tiny little antennas in your brain. Those are your dopamine receptors. When you're just blasting them all day with easy rewards from your phone, they do what anyone would do. They get overwhelmed and turn the volume down. They become less sensitive, almost numb, just to protect themselves. So before the detox, your brain sensitivity is super low. It needs these massive, easy hits just to feel okay. And that's exactly why you feel so drained and unmotivated. But after the detox, by just taking away that cheap stimulation for a day, those little antennas, the receptors, they reset. They become super sensitive again. And all of a sudden, simple things like the satisfaction of finishing a chapter in a book or going for a run, that's enough to feel great again. Your natural motivation just comes back online. All right, so let's bring this home. What can you actually expect to feel after your very first detox day? Honestly, the payoff for just one day is pretty amazing. People talk about feeling so much calmer once that constant digital buzz is gone. They feel sharper, more creative, because their brain finally has some breathing room to, think. But the biggest thing, they feel that genuine motivation coming back for the stuff that actually matters to them. So, here is the challenge. It's super simple. Just try it for one day. Pick a Saturday, a Sunday, whatever works for you. And just see what happens. Think of it as a little experiment on yourself, one with a massive potential upside. Look, at the end of the day, this is all about taking back control. It's about pulling the plug, even for a short time, on the algorithms and apps that are literally designed to keep us hooked. It's about giving your brain that reset it's craving so it can get back to doing its best work. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to reclaim your focus?